Hi guys, Tom Morrison here, and today we want to give you an awesome hip mobility drill that is going to make your squats feel great. So it's called the 27 squats. We're going to do it in an assisted way first of all, so get something you can hold on to, like a door frame or a rig post if you can, and I'm going to talk Jenny through the drill, so if you can follow along with us, it's absolutely awesome. So the first position is going to be the feet completely beside each other and completely straight on, and Jenny's going to do one squat in that position as low as she can get, and then bring herself back up from there. She then points her tippy toes at each other, and she goes down to a nice low position again, as low as she can get. You may find you get clumped up in this position. Don't worry, just go where you can comfortably get to. Don't try and force it. Then she brings the feet back together again and turns the toes out so the heels are together, and she squats herself down. So that's the first variation in a narrow stance. Then she goes to like a neutral stance so that her hips or her feet are just below her hips. She starts again from the start, feet straight forward, squats herself down, and then brings herself back up. Then she's going to point the toes in at each other, and then same again, squat yourself down, bring yourself back up, and then keep that same neutral stance and just turn the toes out away from each other, squat down, bring yourself back up. And the third position is a bit more gnarly. We're going to go a bit wider, feet straight on. She's going to squat down again, see where she can get to. Oh, well done, Jenny. That one there, I don't get very far at all. Then she points the toes in towards each other, squats down. Oh, well done, Jenny. And then the last one, the feet turned out. This will feel a bit more comfortable too. And squat down and bring yourself back up. So that's your first variation. So that's 9 squats you've done now so far. And that was with your feet both straight beside each other. The next way we start to mess this up, and this gives you a bit more wiggle room with your hips really. What we're looking to do is have the feet back beside each other where they were at the very, very start. And then she's just going to bring her left foot ever so slightly forward. So the middle of her left foot is beside her big toe of her right foot. She's then going to go through the exact same thing again. So neutral stance first, she squats down, brings herself back up, then she points the toes at each other again, keeps that still staggered stance a slight bit, and back up, and then regain the stance, turn the toes out that little bit, squats down, and brings herself back up again. Then from there, she goes to her neutral stance, so the feet just underneath the hips, and then keeps the staggered stance, and again, feet straight forward, squats down, brings herself back up, points the toes in at each other, squats down, brings herself back up, and then takes the toes out, squats down, brings herself back up. Then you go for your super duper wide stance. Same idea, toes both straight forward, squat down, squat back up, toes in at each other, squat down, squat back up, and then toes out away from each other, squat down, and back up again. And then you're going to do the exact same thing, just on the other side. So it's exactly the same, only different. So the right foot's now the one that's staggered, ever so slightly, and the left one is behind, so the big toe's beside the middle of the right foot. So you're going to start off in your close stance again, squat down, back up, point the toes in at each other, squat down, back up, and point the toes out, squat down, and squat back up. Anyone care to do the maths right now at this point of how many squats we've done? Because I have no idea. Then we're going to go straight forward in our neutral stance again, back it up, and then point the toes in at each other, squat down, back up, and then point the toesies out, squat down, and back up, and then our super duper wide stance, and then straight forward, and then can you guess it? Toes in, and then final one, toes out. Good. So that's the staggered stance. So whenever you've done that, you'll have done 27 squats of all different variations. And it's really good to do this, really good for your knees, really good for your hips. And it's really good just to work on different general angles. You don't really get to do that often. And it's going to make normal squats a hell of a lot more fun because, you're going to feel a lot freer and it's going to feel a lot easier without this mad toe pointy in kind of stuff. So give that a go. What you can do to make that drill a little bit harder on yourself, and you'll probably find you'll get less range if you're not holding on, is to repeat the entire thing without any kind of assistance. So we'll just go through the main standpoints. So straight forward, point the toes in at each other. See how low you can get. So it becomes infinitely harder. And then toes out away from each other. And then back down. So without any assistance. So you'll probably find your range is a bit different compared to whenever you're holding on. But the closer you can get them together, the better your overall mobility is going to be in general. So give that a go, guys. Keep this video and follow along with it a couple of times until you've just really got it nailed into your head. But it's quite easy to remember once you've done it a couple of times. It's just all the positions. So just remember, toes straight forward, toes pointed at each other, and toes pointed away from each other. And your close stance, neutral stance, a wide stance, and then your staggered stance and your staggered stance with those close narrow, no, close, neutral, and wide. Okay, so sounds more complicated than it is, but give it a go, memorize it, and your hips will feel awesome. Okay, guys? Sick.